Well, yesterday didn't feel great, but barring another setback, it looks like I'm at least functional. I was able to make 15 miles, a little bit slower pace, but that was decent considering all the gain and everything. Hardest part was especially where I was really huffing and puffing up high. I was just coughing like crazy. You can still hear that I've got stuff going on, but I feel at least a little better, and I'm not near as weak as I was when I kept having to go back into town. With how hard I have been pushing to keep up a pace and, denying myself all the niceties of going into town, it was highly frustrating to basically lose 10 days and have to burn all that money in town, especially when I basically didn't enjoy it. Jen put me in that really, really nice hotel initially, and I was just so out of it. I mean, I had like fever chills, I was sweaty, I was cold. I was unconscious for the vast majority and just in misery anytime I was conscious. But hey, this is just the sort of thing you have to deal with. Not anything I really could have done to avoid this. I don't know what got me sick. I am vaccinated and boosted. I have a pretty low risk category as far as serious complications from COVID, but you can't avoid being around some people, and who knows. Sadly, it is now the end of September. I was hoping to be through Colorado by the second week of October, and we'll see. I'm basically continuing on at this point. I don't know how long the weather window is going to last. However, I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to take some of the shorter routes. I am on Silverthorne right now, which avoids Gray's Peak and a lot of the 14,000 foot climbs, which I'm bummed about because I was excited to do that. I spent so many hours before I got sick, just bummed that it looked like I wasn't going to be able to go over there for safety reasons because of the weather. And then this hits, but I'm basically trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm going to have to avoid the San Juan Loop and take the Creed cutoff to go through. I really want a continuous footpath. I really don't want to go home, and I really don't want to get caught by, impassable winter weather. I can deal with some snow, I can deal with some cold weather, but there is a point where it gets bad enough where it's just not safe to continue short of like full-on winter gear. So at least for the moment, it is back to business as usual. I think I may get to Silverthorne tonight. I have somebody who's willing to come out and help me, last I heard, to get a ride down to Breckenridge to grab a package, because the bus ride was going to be like an hour and a half each way, and that was going to be somewhat problematic. So that'll be a big help. I can finally get that box from the Fireside Inn. Hopefully they have it. It's got my new shoes, things like that. And then I can push on out of there to Twin Lake. I don't really want to spend any more time in town after all of this, but at this point, it's just trying to keep things as efficient as possible. So if I have to do a relatively, hopefully inexpensive hotel night, just so I don't burn half a day, 2/3 of a day in town, I'm going to have to do that. I'm also not eating near as much at the moment, which kind of worries me just because I have, I know how many calories I burn out here. I had breakfast in town yesterday, and I ate basically 2 bars the entire day. I was able to eat dinner, but yeah. You can see my food bag's still half full. I could do another, well, at the rate I'm eating, probably like 3 or 4 days. I didn't slim down as much as I could on food and fuel and everything because both I didn't feel like wasting anything, because I feel like this has already wasted so much in the way of our hiking funds. And because, quite frankly, I wasn't 100% sure I was going to make it very far. I had a whole plan in case I was going to have to hunker in that exact same spot again, which I really, really didn't want to do. But you can kind of see from the video yesterday, after that, I went up high, and I was up high and exposed, and I couldn't have stopped for quite a while. So today's Friday. The last forecast I saw when I was leaving Winter Park basically said it was going to rain today, snow the next 2 days, and then rain the day after that, and then maybe get back to some sun. One advantage of this whole incident is weather-wise, at least for the moment, I just don't give a damn. Obviously, if it's not safe, I'm not going to go, but there hasn't been any thunder. It's just been precipitation. I've got layers and And I am suddenly getting the sense that maybe I should have not been screwing around with videos and gotten hiking a little earlier. Rain just started and I scrambled to get my tent put away. Ideally, I don't have a wet fly for at least one more day. It was sunny, and the worst problem I had was a squirrel was up in the tree above and kept dropping things on my tent. He obviously didn't want me there. And then all of a sudden, temperature dropped and whatever front's coming in just arrived rather suddenly. I would honestly much rather have snow than rain. The snow is less messy, you know, if it's cold enough you can just brush it off everything, versus the rain gets everything wet. Or you can have the worst case, which is what I had on Parkview, where it was cold enough that it was sleet, but it was also coming down as rain, so everything got wet and I was cold. Honestly, just being back out here and moving has me in such better spirits at the moment. I'm still feeling kind of weak, but I don't care as long as I can hike. Far out doesn't show an elevation profile when you're on anything except the red line, but looking at the topo map, it appears I'm going to have 2 significant climbs and then I should be into Silverthorne. And again, if it's just gonna rain or snow on me, that's not that big a deal. I didn't see any thunder in the forecast. Just ran into a nice bow hunter down there and he had a better forecast. So apparently there was like a 20% chance of rain this morning. That was that little storm. And then all hell breaks loose at 3 o'clock. And there's like 60 to 80% chance of snow and rain through Tuesday now. It's Friday. He also said today is the last day of bow season and there's no hunting for like 2 weeks, and then it's rifle season. So maybe it'll get a little quieter. Climbs are still taking more out of me than usual, but 2 big climbs, one probably in the afternoon storm. That looks fresh. Temperature just dropped massively again, which on the plus side, this is coming down as ice and snow, not rain. Basically dropped down into this canyon, and I assume that trail I can see on the far side way up high on the ridge is what I'm headed for. And once I cross over there, should be downhill into the city, but I still got over 10 miles. Made it over the pass. As you can see, I got storms all around. There's actually thunder off in the distance, but that's okay. It's there are trees around and I go downhill before too long. Well, that was fun. It was full on snowing for a while. Unfortunately, everything was so wet, can't use the camera. Usual problem. Yeah, more fresh snow. And there's civilization. Man, it is pretty out here when I can see anything. Look at those colors. I just keep stopping to take pictures and video because it's so pretty. So clear after the rain, too. Here is Tater's budget climb for the night. Seeing how it was cold and rainy outside, I decided to basically sit in a hot tub, drink wine, and eat pizza.